Once a year, there is a day like no other where comic book fans descend on their local comic merchants. They come from far and wide and endure the elements, whether that is scorching heat or pouring rain. For on this day, comic merchants ask for no coinage for their wares. No, instead, they ask us to pay the price of our time and our patience as we wait in endless lines to get to our salt treasures. And then at long last, we are allowed to enter those hallowed halls where we see a table of comic books laid out before us. And we search those comics. We look for the one that we seek, the one that we are here to find. And at long last, we find our prize and we claim it. Free Comic Book Day, Conan, Battle of the Black Stone, and we emerge victorious on this day of the free comics. Or you could just skip all that and wait a few days and read it digitally on your Kindle. This is a review of Free Comic Book Day, Conan, Battle of the Black Stone. And no, I don't think Conan would probably have the patience to stand through a line for Free Comic Book Day. I think he would probably just push his way through and raid the comic shop. But I did have the patience to stand in line for this comic book, and I gotta tell you, I think it was worth it. And so we're gonna do a non-spoiler review, but we're going to have a spoiler alert, and then I'm going to talk about some of the little teases for some very big things that will be coming up in the Conan comics. And so let's talk about the cover. Notice that they did a new logo just for Battle of the Black Stone. Isn't that funny that they would do that for Free Comic Book Day special? More on that later. So the cover itself is Robert De La Torre art, and it is gorgeous. I love the ominous black and red going on there. And yeah, it's just Conan standing there in a battle pose, but it's good. It just has this really dark tone to it, you know, just emotionally, and the feeling that it captures. I think it's a very strong piece of work. So the story is by Jim Zub, who has been the regular writer on the ongoing Conan series, and the art is by Jonas Scharf. His artwork reminds me of some of the better Dark Horse Conan stuff. It's definitely decent and it gets the job done. Even though the artwork is kind of simple, it is solidly laid out, and you know, the bad guys like this giant with the skull for a mask does look pretty cool. There was only one page where I felt like the artwork was a little too simplified, and that was on this page with these flashbacks to the first two storylines in the new series. And that may just be because we've seen other artists draw these sequences. You know, maybe it's just a little too early to see another artist's take on it. But overall, I do think that this is a really, really good comic for you to pick up if you are a Conan fan. And so let's get into those spoilers. So surprisingly, this does not begin in Conan's time, but instead in Texas with a writer named James Allison, who is a Robert E. Howard character who could remember his past lives. And James Allison encounters some kind of supernatural doom here. And then we go to the battle sequence I was showing you with Conan, and Conan notices that around the big warrior's neck is this black stone with a symbol on it, and it's this black stone and the symbol that Conan has been running across in the first year of his ongoing series. And so then he starts remembering all that, and the black stone has been this mysterious supernatural thing from the Robert E. Howard stories that's really bound together all the different plot lines in the first year of the ongoing Conan series. But it is actually something that they're going to use beyond that first year, because we then see Robert E. Howard characters from throughout time encountering that exact same symbol. And so we have the Puritan adventurer, Solomon Kane. We have French sword woman, Dark Agnes. We have gunslinging adventurer Al-Barak and Professor John Carawan, and I have no idea if I pronounced that last name correctly. And then on the final page, we see Brissa, the Pictish warrior chick from the first plot line who allegedly died off panel. She shows up at James Allison's house, followed by this huge ad for Conan Battle of the Black Stone, saying it's going to be an event that will start this fall. And then at the bottom of the final page, it says the adventure begins in Savage Sword of Conan #4 and Conan Battle of the Blackstone #1, confirming that Blackstone will have its own Conan miniseries. And then we get an article with illustrations at the bottom, presumably showing us who will be involved in this storyline. We got Conan, we got Brissa, we got James Allison, Dark Agnes, Solomon Kane, Al Barak, John Conrad, and John Carawan. So that's really exciting, and also worth mentioning is that there's this gorgeous preview of Doug Braithwaite's artwork for Conan #13, and that's going to be a storyline set when Conan just left Samaria, and it's going to be celebrating the 90th anniversary of Robert E. Howard's classic Conan story, The Frost Giant's Daughter. And for those who don't know, Titan Comics currently puts out 2 Conan series. One is a color series called Conan the Barbarian. It's ongoing serialized storytelling. Currently, they are in the middle of a crossover with Cole the Conqueror, which is really awesome. And then there's also Savage Sword of Conan, and this is put out in that old black and white magazine format, self-contained Conan story so far with a Solomon Kane backup story. In fact, Savage Sword of Conan #2 came out this week, and so I'm working on a review of that, and hopefully that'll come in the next day or two. So like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, see ya.